Hello, magical friends, and welcome to episode 111 of WZRD Radio. I'm your host, Witch Bess, and I'm so excited to be debuting a brand new wizard rock band today. Vive la musique! I'd also like to make a quick note that I'm still working on my recording room, so my sound is a little echoey. Sorry about that. Before we meet with our newest wizard rocker, let's check in with some familiar favorites. Here's Striking Down Diggory with The Princess of Snakes.
Put a die! Put a die! Put a die!
The poison you put into me. It's the poison that's already there. Tell me, well, friend, bring the story from hell. She has opened her mouth to tell. When you see the pinkness passes beyond her lips, when you feel the scales of long cold fingertips, when you feel paralyzed by the fear and the bliss. Now I can see Thestros after the brat princess kiss. Salazar Slytherin has poisoned me through the centuries. Salazar Slytherin has poisoned me through the centuries. She takes my heart. I can feel my own blood. Salazar!
begins the start of yet another day. I wake up, shower, then get dressed and start making my way down to class in potions. We sit down in our chairs. Professor gives instructions, and we can't help but stare. What the fuck this potion do? We whisper to our friends. Yo, Professor Slughorn's nuts. When does this class end? We gather some ingredients and add them to the cauldron. Halfway through the class, the headmaster just fucking walks in. He and Slughorn chat a bit about what I couldn't say. Then the headmaster just nods and walks the fuck away. Everybody's sweating, working at their desk. None of us have any clue what could happen next. It seems like we've been here for hours. The clock don't make no sense. I swear this potion turns back time, but I need evidence. Hey, what time you got? I ask. My best friend turns around. They answer me, but I can't hear them. Not a fucking sound. I shake my head to clear my ears and ask them once again. But strangely, they have disappeared. The clock is back to 10. What in the fresh hells is this? I whisper to myself. I stand to shake the nerves off and walk towards the shelf, where I pick some pickled eyes, a tail of a red lizard. Shifty eyes looking my way, I ain't no bitch-ass wizard. I throw the stuff into my pot and watch the bubbles grow. The clock still hasn't moved at all, I wish that we could go. What the fuck this potion do? It turns back fucking time! I don't have the patience, but also I don't whine. I wonder if my fellow classmates think the same thing too. I gather up my courage, raise my hand to ask a cue. When I'm finally called on, my alarm goes off. I wake up, stretch and take a breath, sigh and yawn and cough, and then it's off to potions class to sit down in our chairs. Professor gives instructions, and we can't help but stare. What the fuck this potion do? We whisper to our friends. Yo, Professor Slughorn's nuts, when does this class end? We gather some ingredients and add them to the cauldron. Halfway through the class, the headmaster just fucking walks in. He and Slughorn chat a bit about what I couldn't say. Then the headmaster just nods and walks the fuck away. Everybody's sweating, working at their desk. None of us have any clue what could happen next. It seems like we've been here for hours. The clock don't make no sense. I swear this potion turns back time, but I need evidence. Hey, what time you got? I ask. My best friend turns around. They answer me, but I can't hear them. Not a fucking sound. I shake my head to clear my ears and ask them once again. But strangely, they have disappeared. The clock is back to 10. What in the fresh house is this? I whisper to myself. I stand to shake the nerves off and walk towards the shelf, where I pick some pickled eyes, a tail of a red lizard. Shifty eyes looking my way. I ain't no bitch-ass wizard. I throw the stuff into my pot and watch the bubbles grow. The clock still hasn't moved at all. I wish that we could go. What the fuck this potion do? It turns back fucking time. I don't have the patience, but also I don't whine. I wonder if my fellow classmates think the same thing too.
That was The Princess of Snakes from Striking Down Diggory. The Mirror of Erised with their interpretation of the King's Cross scene in Deathly Hallows, and Totally Knut's Time for Potions. And now let's chat with Lillian and get to know our new rocker. Welcome to the show, Lillian. I am super stoked to be starting the year off by talking with you.
I'm excited to be here. It's really surreal because I listen to the show,
So I know why you're here, and you know why you're here, but we're going to go ahead and dive in from the beginning, which is your history with Wizard Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I have to really try to trace my 12-year-old brain's memory when I think about it. I know that it was some HP Twilight or YouTube music video that got me into Wizard Rock, and I think it might have been a Moaning Myrtles one. That is where I've landed on that. But I was a big fan at the time, and at that time I saw one show. It was at an Ann Arbor library, and it did have Tonks in it, so that was awesome. And I got back into it when I was about 15, just a little bit. And it's like whatever the opposite of a claim to fame is that between my Harry Potter eras, I went to Youmacon 2012, where I left a Harry and the Potters concert because I know it's traumatic to me now thinking about it. And I didn't even traumatically make it up either, because they have all of their concerts listed on their website, and it does say 2012 Youmacon, and I'm always like, this is terrible, but it was just like very loud in there, and it's pretty late, and it's like a whole weekend, and I was like, I just can't do this, and then I left, and will never forgive myself. But between then and now, a couple years ago, at this point, a year or so ago, I got back into Harry Potter. But the way that I knew I was starting to get back into Harry Potter was actually because I had started listening to Wizard Rock again. And I was always, on the more cursory scale, in a weird way. I didn't really ever listen to Harry and the Potters or Draco and the Malfoys when I was growing up. It was, different artists. But when I got back into it about a year ago, I just like was listening to so many different artists and newer artists, and I joined the Wizard Rock Discord, and I've been working with Susanna a little bit on the Wizard Rock master list, which has been really cool. It's a great way for me to like find out all the stuff that's out there. And then I went to the last LeakyCon. I had never been to LeakyCon before. So, and that was another step on this kind of journey.
That sounds like quite an adventure.
I said a lot of things, which sort of constitutes it as an adventure.
My cat is here to help.
My cat has been trying to help me for hours. I'm sure she's going to come in and do the same thing.
I'm going to move you off the rickety table. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that reminded myself somehow of shout out to Carl Johan, who posted in the Wizard Rock Discord, before LeakyCon, that there were the mini grants through the Interfilk Association, or Interfilk, whatever the end word there is, that they, would help fund people to go to LeakyCon, because without that, I wouldn't have been able to go. So, and at the time I was like, I'm not a musician. I'm not planning to become a musician. But I really care about this community, and I have some, I have written academically, and I'd like to do that about this. So that would be sort of my contribution. And I was their first recipient. So that was really cool.
That is incredibly cool. Carl Johan is such a gem. We're very lucky to have him.
Yes, absolutely.
But you have become a musician.
Yeah, it makes my like skin. I'm trying to think of a positive word for crawl in a good way. I'm like,
Tingle?
Yeah, like I'm like, that can't be right. But I guess it is. But yeah. So I was gonna say, when did I even it was because the Snail Collective, that's what it was. After LeakyCon, I had made friends with not about 5 other people, and we had a Discord that was just us, chatting and stuff like that. And I came up with the idea that it would be really fun for us to just, put together. We'd sung Hot to Go a lot when we'd been at LeakyCon. That was like the thing we would fall back on, was Hot to Go. So I wrote a Hot to Go parody called, of course, Pooh, and, submitted it for the sampler. But I had and we had a lot of fun making it. And Chloe, they were the vocals on that. They're just incredible. They knew what they were doing with their voice, which really helped me, because I had no idea what I was doing on the back end. And it was such a difficult experience. And I realized, like, if I want to do this is fun conceptually, but if I want to do this, I need to start fresh and like get any sort of groundwork for creating music. So I started being interested in, playing the guitar and taking music lessons. And so I actually confided in Libby of Potter Watch, and I was like, am I silly if I sign up for music lessons? And she was like, no, do it. She was very sweet in encouraging me, and I did. But I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to be able to afford. I mean, music lessons are not super cheap either, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to afford a guitar actually on top of this expense. So then I think you posted a reminder about the community fund.
And we will absolutely get to that, but I want to hear more about the Snail Collective.
Yes. So the Snail Collective is myself, Ella, Elf, Zoe, AJ, and Chloe. So we're based around the whole country, really. Zoe goes to school on the East Coast. Ella is in grad school in New York. Chloe and AJ are close to, where LeakyCon was in Portland. I'm in Ohio. Elf was in Chicago. Like, so we're all around. So it was kind of a way for us to like connect, even though we're in such disparate parts of the country. And the name comes from Ella and I are both big Horace Slughorn people. We just really like Slughorn. And there was some, joke we were making while we were walking around LeakyCon that was like, I'm very passionate that I think that Lily Potter's Patronus being a doe is stupid. I think it's weird that a character who's as independent and strong-willed as her would have a doe Patronus just because her husband's is a stag. I think that's like weird and gender essentialist. And I was having a discussion about this with Ella, and I was like, I think her Patronus should be a big slug. And Ella had been disagreeing with me until that moment. And then she was like, wait, no, you're right. It should be a big slug. And when we were bandying about a bunch of different names and stuff, it's the Slug Club and then the Snail Collective.
So it's like fans of the fan club.
Yes, or it's like an alternate version of the Slug Club, I guess.
Now, one of the things I think I've been asking about since you started your music journey is, are you going to have a band name, or are you going to perform under Lillian?
So I took, oh my God, the polls in my friend groups, the polls in the Discord, the thousands of ways I tried to think of Wizard Rock names, just because I knew I wanted one. And it's just really hard because there's so many directions you can go with it. So I've landed on Hope in the Howlers, which I think is, I mean, obviously listeners can't hear, but the face you made was gratifying. So because I'm a huge, it was hard. It's like I wanted it to do so many things. The name, I wanted it to be fun. I was listening to your Ludo Bagman episode, and I just love that name. It's one of my favorite names, Ludo Bagman in the Trash. And I was like, obviously I'm not gonna, come up with anything that cool, but, or maybe, who knows, but like, it made me think of Persona Wizard Rock, something I've really loved about Wizard Rock since its inception. I wanted something that was that like take on Harry and the Potters that so many bands have had since. And then I also, Remus Lupin is my favorite character. I wanted something that relates to him. For a while, I was like, I want something Quidditch related. It was like, in all too many directions. I love Dumbledore. I was really like, for like a week, I was just coming up with every ridiculous iteration of blank in the put outers. Because another thing I'm passionate about is that why are we too cool to call it a put outer? Why is it got to be a deluminator now? Like, come on. It's a put outer. Like, stop revisionist history in your will, Albus. But Hope in the Howlers is like a combination. It's Hope's Howl is Remus Lupin's mom. Howl, her last name being a play on Howler, and then of course the Wizard Rock like persona name. So it had most of what I wanted, and I think it's nice.
That sounds amazing, and suggests that there may be future band members beyond just you.
If I think of what to write for, my boyfriend has very much agreed to like sing, vocals for any part. He's got a pretty good baritone voice and isn't shy about singing, which that's a hurdle that I'm definitely overcoming, is like a lot of singing anxiety.
Now, are you Hope Howell personified, or is the name more in honor of her?
I think there's some combination of like, I would like to do some persona rock songs, but at the same time, I'm definitely not going to be, I would say the majority of what I'm thinking about is not from her perspective, but, I don't know. If I were ever to perform in front of people or something, I can see I'm sure a lot of the songs I'll be doing are about Remus Lupin, so it's like kind of fun to play into that persona a little bit there.
Remus Lupin was my first favorite character in the book series. I actually remember saying that to people as we were chatting, waiting for a Wizard Rock concert, I think in Arlington, Virginia. I think I'm just a sucker for characters who are sad. And I was like, I just need him to be happy.
I do too. And I'm on like a canon revisionist quest to prove that he is.
How intriguing.
Yes. Oh, for a long time, the name was Headmaster Werewolf. That was like everyone was mad. Like, not everyone. By like that, I mean like two people. But two people were mad when I was like, I just don't feel that it's right, Yeah, I completely, he's one of my very first favorite characters too. And I was like too young to even really know how obsessed with him I would someday get. I have all sorts of thoughts about Remus Lupin, and they're all battling each other in my head.
Well, if one emerges top, let us know.
Yes, will do.
So, as you were saying, you did not start intending to become a Wizard Rocker, rather, a Wizard Rock fan and one of our many intellectuals, journalists. What changed that, and what has it been like?
Well, I mean, like, there's always been, like, I'm sure most people on this earth who have enjoyed a song have like a latent desire to like create something like that. But I mean, it really was like, when I was like 12, I remember part of the reason I wanted a persona name like that was because I remember when I was like really 12 or 13, I wanted to be Lillian the Potters, but I don't really like that name. I don't even know that I loved it then, but like I could, I just didn't like to play music at that time. It wasn't something I was really interested in, but going to LeakyCon and just like, I don't know, the energy of that. And, I am a writer by trade, I guess. And so like, I enjoy writing parodies and I enjoy just writing songs and doing that kind of work. But I'm sorry, I'm trying to like think my way through this question. But like, it started to change then it was the sampler song, and I was like, this is really hard. But also, Brian Ross said something, and I wrote a story for the paper I work at about LeakyCon, and I think I included this quote because I asked him why he continues to do this, why he continues to go out to Wizard Rock events after all these years, and he was like, being the reason that a kid picked up a guitar for the first time, like that'll keep you going, And I just think that Wizard Rock tries to make is one of the most accessible forms of song making and one of the most accessible forms of music making. I'm a perfectionist, so I do still have a hard time like getting over an internal hurdle of like wanting things to be what I consider to be like high enough quality. And I started taking a photography class, and I realized how much I benefit from instruction, that like these things aren't just hurdles I can't ever get over. It's actually that I can get over them if I feel like I've got a structured environment that is like teaching me how to, as opposed to like, oh, it's all on YouTube. Well, that's nice, but I don't even know enough to navigate how to find it on YouTube,
I often say, I don't know what it is that I don't know.
Exactly.
Which can make it a little overwhelming to try to teach yourself something like music or singing.
Exactly.
But now you're taking guitar lessons.
Yes, yeah, guitar and voice lessons from this great teacher named Daniel. He's just been like the perfect. I actually had a music lesson earlier today where I was practicing the vocals for, because I told him I was recording Sunday, and he definitely gave me like a pep talk at the end, because he was like, I was like getting really anxious, honestly, and he's just like has just such positive energy, and he kills me because he does these like riffs. He'll just like start singing like essentially a beginning of a Wizard Rock cover, and I just want him to sit down and record everything and share it with everyone because he's so good at it. And he also loves coming up with band names. So I'm just hoping that 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 not one Wizard Rocker has been born, but two.
That would be amazing. Maybe you found Headmaster Werewolf.
Yeah, maybe I have. I'm sure he's gonna. I want him to come up with his own great name. I'm sure he's got like a dozen just percolating.
Now, you mentioned it earlier, but you were the inaugural recipient of not one, but two micro grants last year.
Yeah, so when you posted a link to the fund, and clearly I think maybe people sometimes see that and they think like, oh, that couldn't apply to me. You know what I mean? Like, they don't mean me because but at that exact moment, it was like right when I was talking to Libby about signing up for music lessons, and I had just done so. And I was again stressing about a guitar, and I was like, this is exactly the kind of support that I'm seeking at this moment. So I applied, and you reached out a couple of weeks later, and it was like, I was so excited because the community fund purchased my my guitar.
Back when WZRD supported Yes All Witches, I talked to other people who ran microloans and microgrant programs, and it is often like pulling teeth to get people to apply. I've even had people message me, do you think I could? Is it okay if I? And I want to say, yes, please apply. Tell your friends to apply. That's what it's there for.
Absolutely. And my feelings about it are that it's such a gift. And so in more than one way, it's not just the gift of a guitar, but it's also like a responsibility, and that like you have been generous to use this resource on me. And I want to make sure that I'm able to, I'm trying to think of the way to put this. But like, I want to I just think of the support that got this guitar into my hands, and I want to make good with that. I want to do something with it, and I know that the expectation isn't like, suddenly be headlining at whatever, but I want to create with it. Like, that's like, to me, it's a responsibility to like bring more music into the world in some way.
Running it is strictly selfish. I figure the more support I give Wizard Rockers, the more Wizard Rock I get, and the happier I am.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I love that motivation because I always want to see more Wizard Rock too.
It's time for a music break. First up is the Giant Squid Stravaganza and Underwater.
Do you wish that you could be underwater, try it without delivery. Underwater, you could drown, but I'd save you. If I felt like it and I wasn't busy, then you'd always be with me. Underwater, we could sink a boat. We could make some toast. We could ink a graphic novel. We could surf the internet. Do you wish that you could be underwater? Try it without delivery. Underwater, you could drown, but I'd save you. If I felt like it and I wasn't busy, but then you'd always be with me. Underwater, we could learn about alternative fuels. We could practice origami. We could go to a minor league baseball game. We could check my email, johnsquidwatch@yahoo.com. Do you wish that you could be underwater, try it without delivery. Underwater, you get down, but I'll save you. If I felt like it and I wasn't busy, then you'd always be with me. Underwater.
Year 5, October 9th. Everything just seems to be going badly. I mean, Voldemort's back and nobody believes Harry. I wish I could do something about it, but I'm just Neville. I'm nothing like my parents. They were great wizards. The last few weeks I have spent thinking I don't live up to my parents. They were so brave and so strong too. I wish I didn't always act like a fool, but I do. I'm sorry that I'm not like my old pop. I didn't mean to bring shame to the family name. I'm sorry that I'm not like my old pop. I didn't mean to bring shame to the family name. Everything I do turns out wrong. I start to wonder if I belong. 'cause I'm almost just like a squid. Like a squid. I'm sorry that I'm not like my old pop. I didn't mean to bring shame to the family name. I'm sorry that I'm not like my old pop. I didn't mean to bring shame to the family name. I'll show them all that I am meant to be here at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Everyone will see that I'm the son of Horus Frank and Alice Longbottom. I'm not like my old pop, but I won't bring any shame to the family name. Well, I know that I'm not like my old pop, but I won't bring any shame to the family name.
Rain through the broken windows washed the words from the pages, and it rusted the cauldrons through. Faded portraits and empty car doors, but the forest inviting with nothing inside it's gonna hurt you. Visitors petered out eventually, and the boards collapsed the next hour. We'll have to scour Scotland for a new haunt. When the high wards falter and the rising water takes the last tower, and the sun sets, and the sun will rise again, so it swallows us up and lets us in. Congregations disperse quickly. Never news, only doomed plans to sever links. We've got each other to remember what's real, to watch the light wane in and fight the temptation to let ourselves sink. And as we float on east, hoping that fabled mountain peaks left the undying affirmation under your breath. I am a wizard, I am a wizard, I am a wizard, I am a wizard, oh yeah. And the sun sets, and the sun will rise again, So the veil opens up and lets us in.
That was Underwater by the Giant Squid Stravaganza, Neville's Diary with the family name, and the Caradoc Dearborns and Send the Fire. Who's ready for more interview? So now that you are fully named, getting comfortable with your instruments, what collabs might we anticipate or hope for?
That was the hardest question. I don't know. Like, first of all, love Carl Johan. I would love to do something with Carl Johan. Obviously, I'm like a Potter Watch super fan. I can't believe I forgot to mention earlier that Ella, myself, 3 members of the Snail Collective, the ones that were able to go, met and went to Avada Kedavra 2024. And then while we were there, we got Potter Watch tattoos. So, I would love to, work with any member or all members of Potter Watch at some point. I've gotten some permission from a couple different Wizard Rockers for some covers, which I'm excited about. Like, not just covers, but like changing them in a little bit, which will be really fun. Obviously, that's not a collab, but I'm open to working with so many people. There's so many talented people in Wizard Rock,
If you were going to get to do a collab with Potter Watch, what would you be hoping for? A particular kind of song or whole EP or full album?
Oh my God, I can't even, my brain explodes even at the problem is like, I love them just as they are. I'm still developing. I'm really just learning so many of the basics right now and learning how to do covers and parodies because I really want a foundation and I don't really know my own style yet at this point. So it'd be hard for me to say. I mean, if they wanted to write a song about Remus Lupin, I would definitely not be opposed and I'd be thrilled to be involved, I guess.
So currently it's all just future dreams, no particular plans or ambitions.
No, yeah, I've got plenty of Wizard Rock ambitions, but right, it's a lot of it's centered on things that it's turning to music in unexpectedly like this. It's like all the thoughts where I'm like, this would make a good album. It all feels like possible. It feels possible, which is really exciting, but also really hard, which is less exciting. But it's still, I have concrete plans for what I'm working on now, and then other things down the line that I'd like to do when I've got a little more experience under my belt.
That is incredibly exciting to hear, and I can't wait to see what's coming. But I'm not there yet, so I have to ask, for other people who are just starting out or want to get into it and don't know how to begin, what kind of advice do you have?
For me, structured lessons like that are so helpful. I find them to be, I think that the ease of internet instruction it did for me for sure. For years, I just kind of forgot it was an option. And all it really took was a call to the music school that I actually went to and learned piano from when I was 8, when they were first opening, which is funny. But, I know that's not an option for everyone for sure. But also, you never know. I've started noticing, there's a word for this, but I can't remember it. But I've started noticing when I'm at a coffee shop, there'll be a sign that's got drum lessons. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a collab. If any drummers out there really want to hang out, But I've really noticed that there are people everywhere offering their services at different rates and stuff. It doesn't always have to be full music school pricing. I think that it can be really valuable. If you don't want to go that route, of course, don't just do chords in one order and think to yourself, I've learned the song, do chords and those chords in all sorts of orders. Try to learn the instrument rather than learning a repeated series of motions. I come to that thinking from my music teacher because otherwise, I don't even know how to start.
Do you have any warm-ups or other first tips that really clicked for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to share, I've got a YouTube playlist that is vocal warm-ups that Daniel has given me. Clicking on any of those videos, you'll find a bunch, but it really is so important. It's such a difference when you warm up. Just theater kid stuff, like if you need to be out here mouthing red leather, yellow leather, it's going to help. As for guitar, man, I don't know, practice, like for me, calluses were exciting when it came to guitar because it meant that I was doing something, I was getting better,
That's how I've always felt about calluses. I earned those.
Exactly.
And we will definitely take that playlist and link it in the show notes. Assuming Headmaster Werewolf is cool with it.
Oh yes, it's like it's my playlist on my account that he like gives me videos that occasionally. So it's not super long now, but it really is just like lip trills, and he's given me some pronunciation videos because he's like so much of Wizard Rock has a lot of lyrics, because there's so many songs are about telling a specific story.
So you mentioned having lots of plans and ambitions and thoughts and ideas. Reeling it back a few steps, what are you currently working on? What are you looking at?
So what I'm working on right now is an cover album, like an album just full of parody songs. And like I said, like some of them are parodies of popular pop songs or whatever, rock songs. And then there's a handful of parodies of Wizard Rock songs, which is really exciting. And like a couple of musical songs, like just like songs that I've like loved to sing, or the first song that I've learned how to play, I wrote a parody of because I'm like, I'm not interested unless it's about Harry Potter. So that's been really exciting. It's hard because it's like, that's a lot of work already. And then it's like, I have ideas after that. I would love to write an album that was set during the First Wizarding War. Like that's something that's always been on my mind. And then I generate Remus Lupin thoughts constantly. So who knows? But I have a note in my phone that just says Mrs. Fig Molotov cocktail. So that's the beginning of a song, probably.
The final music break has arrived, heralded by Hannah Moras and All of Us at Once.
So much alone as living on my own, talking to the things that had nothing to say back. For the longest time I believed that I didn't need my voice. Indifference was their choice and I'd given all I had. I've heard the name before, but Looney means nothing when love is so much more than what they think of me. There's no room for that when what you really need isn't me, but it's all of us at once. And now you're all I had, and now you finally see that I need you now, 'cause we have our weapon. It's us. I always knew this could be, but I didn't think it would. It came as unexpected as unexpected should. Found my shoes hanging in the door frame, a bit of light in the dark, a friendly voice calling my name. Luna, love, but I am listening. I've heard the name before, but Looney means nothing when love is so much more than what they think of me. There's no room for that when what you really need isn't me, but it's all of us at once. And I give all I had, and now you finally see that I need you now, 'cause we have our weapon, and it does. Oh, 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 oh. Our weapon is us. there's no room for that when what you really need isn't me, but it's all of us at once.
That was All of Us at Once from Hannah Mora's, House of Black with Wizard Rock Fangirl, and Pretty British Boy by Wingardium Leviosa. And here's the last bit of my convo with Lillian of Hope and the Howlers. Thank you so much for talking with me. I am so excited to see what's coming for Hope and the Howlers. I almost said Horcruxes.
Different ending for Hope Lupin, I guess. And I haven't recorded it yet, so I don't know what it's actually going to sound like, but I have sent you in the future, by the time people are listening to this, a recording of like the first song that I'm working on in that cover album, which is exciting.
I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah, I would have liked to have it to you before, but I'm full of plans. That's my issue, is I'm full of plans. And if I had the time, I would be able to do all of it, but the issue is I'm full of plans.
You're full of plans. I provide deadlines. It all works out.
Yes, I'm glad. I really am, because it, again, my Daniel had to talk me down from a ledge earlier. Deadlines are very helpful. So
that's the journalist in you.
Yes, the journalist in me who finished journalisming like 2 minutes before this call.
Where can WZRD's listeners find you and your future music online?
That is so I don't have a Bandcamp at this point. I'm like, could I just like make up the new username I'm gonna use? Probably. I might have something. I'll try to have something for you to link, but maybe like Hope and the Howlers or whatever. And then I'm on Instagram at Lexa Lucifer, which is just a fan fiction name, but Lexa Lucifer is my Instagram, and I have started using that more specifically because of Wizard Rock. So, and then I'm always, I'm on the Wizard Rock Discord. You can always find me there.
And do you think we're going to see anything more from the Snail Collective?
I think we'd like to at least, we weren't in person when we recorded Pooh, and that was really hard for me, of an extremely amateur, like, audio mixer, to put that together, and it's within driving distance for me as well. So it's like, I can bring my guitar, So my hope is that we can at least re-record, Pooh, and then, if we have ideas, it doesn't have to be every member of the Snail Collective at once, or it can be all of us. But I'm hoping that we can, submit a sampler song or a single here and there, when the inspiration strikes.
If you heard a song today and you thought, I could listen to that again, then go to the transcript at wcrdradiopod.com, follow the link, and buy a copy of your very own. It's the best way to support your favorite musician, and without our Wizard Rockers, we wouldn't be here. If you want discounts on WZRD merch, the inside scoop on everything that's coming up, and bonus gifts and episodes, then you want WZRD Radio's Patreon at patreon.com/WZRD Radiopod. It's just $2 Muggle a month, and also supports the Community Rock Fund, where we're raising funds to help Wizard Rockers achieve their musical dreams. If you want to keep up with WZRD between episodes, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at WZRD Radiopod. If you don't believe in social media, you can also comment on the transcript or email me at wzrdradiopod@gmail.com. And now, here's Hope and the Howlers.
So this is a parody of, it was just the first song that I learned how to play, and like I said, I was like, I want a parody of it. Please enjoy Werewolf by Not the Cranberries. Hi, I also wanted to add, I totally forgot before, that this is definitely a demo. 3 months ago, I wasn't able to play 2 notes in a row on a guitar, so the purpose of this is really just to show you how far I've come, and I'm really looking forward to, making and sharing a more polished version of this. So thanks so much for listening. Bye. And the violence caused such silence. Why must we forsake him? But you see, it's not you, it's not your family. In your head, they are hunted with their claws and their teeth and their teeth and their wands. In your head, they are wanted. In your head, werewolf, werewolf, werewolf. Oh, oh, what's in your head? In your head, werewolf, werewolf, werewolf. Oh, 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 do, 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 oh. Another month is cruel, curses taken over. When the violence causes silence, he must be forsaken. It's the same old theme since 1960. In your head, they're still fighting with their claws and their teeth and their teeth and their wands. In your head,